All right, so why don't we go ahead and get started? I know we've got people here in attendance, so thank you very much for taking the time to join us. And also we are broadcasting this via Zoom, so we have several hundred staff and other visitors who couldn't be physically here also enjoying it. So I want to welcome and thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Today we celebrate an exciting milestone in our shared vision of a clean energy future that will serve our nation for generations to come. The Department of Energy and its Office of Electricity are driving both the fundamental discoveries and applied innovations required to realize a modern and resilient energy system that underpins this vision. Next generation energy storage is foundational to our ambitious energy goals, serving as a bridge between renewable energy sources and a resilient power grid. But advancements are needed, which is why the Department and its Office of Electricity, or OE, established the Energy Storage Grand Challenge, initiated the long duration storage shot, and today joins us in breaking ground on the Grid Storage Launchpad. The GSL, as we call it, will bring together critical scientific, research and testing capabilities to accelerate this development, testing and validation of advanced grid-scale energy storage systems. This National Research Center is designed for collaboration. PNL scientists will partner with top researchers from industry, academia, and the national labs to tackle challenges associated with the reliability, performance, cost, and safety of storage technologies. Working together, these multidisciplinary teams will accelerate the development cycle that spans basic materials to components to validation of battery storage systems. The rigorous performance specifications developed along the way will guide future advancements and speed solutions to market. We at PNL are honored to steward this unique national capability on behalf of DOE and the nation. Of course, the GSL would not be possible without the leadership and support of Pat Hoffman and her team at OE, including Michael Peschen, Gil Bindewald, Eric Shea, and Emre Juk. We're going to be introducing Michael a little bit later. Eric is also with us today, and Eric oversees the design and construction that will lead the integration of GSL activities with DOE programs going forward. We also want to acknowledge Emre, who for more than 2 decades has guided many of the energy storage advancements we are realizing today, and we're honored to build upon his legacy. And finally, we'd also like to recognize former Assistant Secretary Bruce Walker for his vision to create the GSL for the department. We're fortunate to have with us today also Patricia Smith from DOE's Office of Energy Efficiency and Renewable Energy, who co-manages the Battery 500 Consortium, one of the largest battery research programs in the world. And we also offer our gratitude to Governor Inslee, the Washington State Department of Commerce, and our state legislators for supporting an $8 million investment in state-of-the-art equipment for GSL. In particular, very thankful to you, Representative Banky, for your efforts along those lines. The state has been a tremendous partner in developing and demonstrating energy storage and grid modernization technologies that serve as a model for the nation and indeed the world. I also wish to acknowledge our congressional delegation and their leadership and advocacy, which paved the way for this $75 million facility. It is an honor to have Senator Cantwell with us today, and we'll hear from her shortly, and we appreciate the pre-recorded remarks provided by Senator Murray and Congressman Newhouse, which we'll hear later. And finally, I'd like to thank our facilities and research staff at PNL, whose collaborations were instrumental to bringing the GSL vision to life. Now I'd like to introduce my co-host, Julie Turner, the Acting Deputy Site Office Manager for the Department of Energy's Pacific Northwest Site Office, which oversees PNL, has been a great partner with Patel in operating this laboratory for the nation. Julie, PNSO Manager Roger Snyder, and our other colleagues at the site office were instrumental in providing the support necessary for this facility to be sited on PNL's campus. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Julie.
So thank you, Steve. It's a pretty exciting day, and what an appropriate site as we stand in front of our newest completed facility, the Energy Sciences Center, and celebrate the start of the next. The Grid Storage Launchpad would not be possible without the incredible support of many of today's speakers and their organizations, from within DOE to congressional and Washington state support, to the brilliant minds and leadership of those within PNNL. Construction of the GSL marks another meaningful step forward for PNNL and DOE as we move further in our journey toward a modern, cutting-edge, and collaborative campus. By connecting researchers from across disciplines and industry partners and validating next-generation materials and systems, from conception to implementation, the possibilities offered by this facility are astounding. When you consider the amazing work done here at PNNL, adding these spaces to an already impressive suite of core capabilities and facilities, along with the incredible researchers, engineers, and support staff, it's easy to be excited about the possible outcomes, and I know I certainly am. So thank you, Steve, for your partnership in bringing this facility to life, and thank you to all in attendance for your support and effort advocating for PNNL and DOE, as well as to those who are hard at work making GSL a reality and informing the future projects, research, and development that I know will have an amazing impact. So now it's my honor to introduce the Secretary of Energy. So Secretary Greinhold was sworn in as the 16th Secretary of Energy on February 25th, 2021, becoming just the second woman to lead the U.S. Department of Energy. In this role, she is helping to lead America in meeting President Biden's goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050 by advancing cutting-edge clean energy technologies, creating millions of good-paying union clean energy jobs, and building an equitable clean energy future for all of us. Prior to her nomination as Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Greinhold was the first woman elected governor of Michigan, serving 2 terms from 2003 to 2011. After serving 2 terms as governor, she joined the faculty of the University of California, Berkeley, as a distinguished professor of practice in the Goldman School of Public Policy. Now please direct your attention to the monitor for a message from the Secretary of Energy, Jennifer Greinhold.
Hello, everyone, and congratulations on breaking ground on the new Grid Storage Launchpad. This achievement would not be possible without strong local partnerships. So we are grateful to PNNL for being the home of this new facility, to Dr. Ashby for your incredible leadership, and to all PNNL staff for your brilliant work for developing these cutting-edge solutions to our nation's toughest challenges. We are so grateful to Governor Inslee and to the Washington State Legislature for their $8 million investment in scientific equipment for this facility. We are grateful to Battelle for their $5 million investment. We are grateful to Senators Cantwell and Murray and to Congressman Newhouse for all of their tireless support of DOE and the national labs, PNNL, and clean energy innovation. The Department of Energy is so proud to help fund the Grid Storage Launchpad and so proud of the part that it's going to play in tackling the climate crisis. You all know President Biden has set ambitious goals to reach 100% clean power by 2035 and then net zero emissions by 2050. Of course, to get there, we're going to need to grow our nation's grid energy storage capacity by up to 110-fold, so that, of course, as we bring more solar and wind online, we can turn those clean resources into 24/7 baseload dispatchable power. And that's why at the Department of Energy, we have just put a huge emphasis on developing and demonstrating and deploying energy storage. Our energy storage grand challenge is going to help speed commercialization of very promising storage technologies. We're very excited about that. Our long duration storage Earthshot is organizing this broad effort with partners in government and academia and the private sector. We're launching this shot to cut the cost of storage systems that last more than 10 hours by 90%. And thanks to President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure law, we're investing $7 billion to build a secure and reliable supply chain for batteries. So the Grid Storage Launchpad is going to support all of these efforts by testing and validating exciting new grid storage technologies in this state-of-the-art facility. It's going to create more effective technologies, it's going to lower their costs, and it's going to get them out of the lab sooner. And that's what this is all about. And remember, the faster that we can deploy effective and long-lasting grid storage, the faster we can get to 100% clean power. And the faster we can lower our energy costs for working families and lower the risk of losing their power during extreme weather. And the faster we can create good-paying jobs and save our planet. So many wins. And that's what the Grid Storage Launchpad is going to help us do. And it's a testament, really, not only to PNNL's stellar track record of science and energy leadership, but to the power of American ingenuity. So congratulations to the full team. I cannot wait to see all this facility can do. Thanks so much.
Well, we thank the Secretary for her inspirational words and exemplary leadership. And now, I would like to welcome to the podium our very own Senator Maria Cantwell. We're grateful that the Senator has taken some time away from leading negotiations on a major effort to advance American innovation and competitiveness to be with us today. Throughout her time in the Senate, Senator Cantwell has been a great friend to PNNL and a recognized leader on innovation amongst her colleagues. It's an honor to be represented by her in the Senate and an honor to have her with us today. Welcome, Senator Cantwell.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ashby. It is really great to be here. I want to thank Michael Pessin for being here from the department and Julie Turner. Obviously, I want to thank our local representatives who are here, Dave Hackney and Matt, that was already kind of yelled out at it a little bit, and Mark Clicker and Commissioner Rasmussen. All of these people have played critical roles in this, and we very much appreciate it. I'm thrilled to be here today because I think this is a very important milestone. In fact, believe it or not, I actually taped a video for this about a week ago, and as soon as I sat down to tape it, I said, why am I not going in person? And they said, well, just in case we don't get out. And I said, I want to be there in person. And the reason I wanted to do that is because this is a very important problem to solve, and people in the Tri-Cities, just like another chapter of our history, are going to solve this problem. More and more people now recognize that long duration, low cost, grid scale energy storage is one of the key milestones that we have to meet in our nation if we're going to reduce our dependence on fossil fuel and if we are going to have our grid of the future. We know that wind and solar are now the cheapest forms of new electricity generation, but of course not when it's not windy or sunny. And so we need to make improvements in the storage capacity to integrate those powers. We know that supplies fluctuate. We know that demand spikes. We know that extreme weather knocks our grid out of its sources of electricity. We know that grid scale energy is needed to fill the gaps, and that is why we're here today. Because more than ever, our region and our nation, and even, yes, our planet, needs energy storage solutions that are going to take us into the future. And that is why we're going to break ground on a building and put 100 of the best scientists from around the globe in a building right here in the Tri-Cities to go solve that problem. We want them to deliver on storage solutions that will help decarbonize our grid. But as was already mentioned, there are a few things we really want them to do. We want them to test storage materials. We want them to test systems under incredible stress. And we also want them to reduce the time it takes to get these energy technologies to solutions. Why? We have no time to wait. Partnering with industry, the speed of innovation, and the transfer of the R&D funds that government is going to put in the equation will help us meet this challenge. Energy storage is going to be one of the largest economic opportunities of the 21st century. By the end of 2030, analysts predict there will be 20 times more energy storage online than at the end of 2020. At that scale, it will require more than a $262 billion investment. So this facility that we're going to break ground on will help us ensure that we are in a position to create those opportunities for people here in the United States. We know that we need a smarter grid, one that is able to analyze and distribute bidirectional power for millions of these new nodes, and we need it done at the speed of light. I just want to give a shout out to Judd Verdon and Carl Imhoff, who've done great work in this space for a long period of time. They have helped me since 2007 author various bills that have been part of making our national grid smarter. But I guess if you'd say, what role did I play? Because there's a lot of people who played key roles. I was just the chief pesterer, okay? So everybody that came before the Energy Committee in the last 3 years basically had the question put to them, are you going to support the grid launch storage program, the grid storage launchpad? And don't you think that PNNL is the right place for that? So I'm happy to work with my colleague, Senator Murray, our Congressman Newhouse, and others to support the appropriations that we were able to get in 2019, 2020 budget, in 2021, and in 2022 that now puts us at that $75 million. So I want to again thank Director Ashby for his vision, because without his vision and leadership, this would not have gone from the blackboard all the way to this multi-million-dollar facility. We owe him a great deal of gratitude for the brilliant work in the early days of this idea and making it a reality. And thank you to the Department of Energy, specifically the Washington Legislature and the state for their contributions, and Battelle for the impact that they have had as well. Know that you will continue to have everybody's in our delegation support to make the Launchpad the premier energy storage facility in the world. That's what we're going to break ground on today, and then the rest of it is up to the Tri-Cities to help deliver on the next energy future. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Senator Cantwell, for those terrific remarks. We really appreciate your steadfast support for all that you've done for the laboratory and the Tri-Cities in our state. Though she couldn't be with us today in person, we're grateful to receive recorded remarks from Washington Senior Senator, Senator Patty Murray. Since her election in 2007, Senator Murray has been a consistent and effective advocate for PNNL and our communities in Washington state. She's a leader among her colleagues on the Appropriations and Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committees, and works hard to ensure that all students have access to quality education for good-paying jobs. So with that, we'll see a video from Senator Murray.
Hi there, this is Senator Patty Murray, and I'd like to congratulate the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory on its groundbreaking of Grid Storage Launchpad facility. I fought hard in the appropriations process to secure big investments for GSL, so I am thrilled to see these efforts are truly paying off with the construction of this project. And I'm so proud to know this facility will be another stepping stone towards producing some of the most groundbreaking research in our nation. I know just how important investments in facilities like this one are to PNNL and our entire state as we continue our collective efforts to decarbonize our economy and meet the moment of today's environmental and climate challenges head on. That's why, as a senior member of the Senate Appropriations Committee, I am pushing to ensure that PNNL has the federal support it needs to continue leading the nation in developing innovative solutions to help us reach our national climate goals. So thank you to everyone at PNNL, the Department of Energy, and throughout the local community and state who helped to make this project happen. And please know, you have a proud partner in me in the United States Senate.
Our thanks to Senator Murray. And now we have the pleasure of hearing recorded remarks from another great friend and advocate for our region, Congressman Dan Newhouse, who represents Washington's 4th District. Congressman Newhouse works tirelessly in Congress to support our communities and deliver critical federal resources, especially through his role on the Appropriations Committee. So now let's hear from Congressman Newhouse.
Good morning, everyone. I wish I could be with you in person today to celebrate this historic occasion, but I wanted to take a moment to recognize what an exciting day this is for our region, the state, and the country as we break ground on this first of its kind energy storage facility. You know, I often brag to my colleagues in Congress that Pacific Northwest National Laboratory is the crown jewel of the national lab system. Our world-class scientists and researchers are leading the way toward a clean energy future, which is why PNNL is the best place for this new facility. Not only will this facility help keep PNNL and our regional partners at the forefront of energy storage and grid resiliency research for years to come, but it will make our nation's power grid more reliable, secure, and flexible, ensuring America's energy security. This facility will become a hub for leading investors and innovators in energy storage, bringing these experts from around the world to our community to work, live, visit, and collaborate, strengthening our local economy. It's an honor to represent the thousands of scientists and researchers who work at the lab in our nation's capital. And I'm proud to advocate for efforts like this through my position on the Energy and Water Appropriations Subcommittee. I'll continue to support the men and the women at PNNL and across the United States who are truly breaking ground with energy grid technology and advancements to secure our energy future. I look forward to celebrating your success. Thank you for all your important work, and congratulations.
Well, thank you, Congressman Newhouse. And next, I'm pleased to invite Michael Peshin to the podium. Michael serves as the Deputy Assistant Secretary for Advanced Grid Research and Development within OE, where he guides the department's grid modernization efforts. He also co-chairs DOE's Energy Storage Subcommittee, which manages the Energy Storage Grand Challenge, for which GSL will play a crucial role. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Steve. It is a very exciting day. So on behalf of the Office of Electricity, I'm really honored to be here today to celebrate this groundbreaking of the Grid Storage Launchpad. This new national capability is central to the department's strategy to ensure that US is the global leader in grid energy storage and in energy storage innovation and manufacturing. Our vision for JSL that it will be a GPS that will help US industry to navigate the most promising next generation energy storage technologies. JSL will be state-of-the-art facility that will provide collaboration spaces for the best and brightest from across the entire country. They will work together to accelerate the development of next generation, long-duration, low-cost batteries. Batteries that are manufactured in the United States and will ultimately be help to accommodate decarbonized energy system. I have few thank yous. Thank you, Steve, for you and your team outstanding efforts on JSL that helped us to get us where we are today. Thank you, Julie Turner and the Office of Science Pacific Northwest Site Office for the strong partnerships we have formed on this project. Thank you, Washington State Department of Commerce, for your long-standing partnerships with the Office of Electricity and PNNL, and your support for JSL is critical. Finally, congratulations to PNNL researchers who will get to work in JSL. We are depending on you. Your future contributions are going to be key to enabling a resilient, decarbonized energy system. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Michael. We appreciate your partnership and support. And final recorded remarks today are provided by Lisa Brown, the Director of the Washington State Department of Commerce, which stewards the state's Clean Energy Fund. She has served the state of Washington in many roles, including 20 years in the legislature and as Chancellor of WSU Spokane. So now we'll hear some remarks from Director Brown.
Hello, I'm Lisa Brown, the Director of the Washington State Department of Commerce. I'm pleased to be with you today as we celebrate the partnership that is keeping us on the cutting edge of clean energy innovation. Commerce helped develop our state's energy strategy, and our goal is net zero emissions by 2050 In order to achieve this result, we need facilities like this one, researching new technologies and commercializing them as part of the clean energy transition. Our long-standing partnership with DOE began with early energy demonstrations at our state's public and private utilities. We co-invested in these projects, and we learned to keep our grid resilient as we decarbonize our energy system, we need more advances in technology at lower costs. So we're pleased to continue the partnership with an $8 million investment from the Clean Energy Fund in this facility. We're particularly happy that this will facilitate partnership with our research universities and with industry, and will provide hands-on learning opportunities for our students. And we all know that the clean energy transition requires a skilled workforce, everything from scientists and engineers to operators and installers. So as we invest in these projects, we are also building the talent pipeline of the future. So congratulations on reaching this milestone today. Your ongoing partnership with Washington State and the integral role that everyone here is playing in moving towards the clean energy economy.
Our thanks to Director Brown, the Governor's Office, and the State of Washington. So I'd like to close by expressing my gratitude for the role that so many of you have played in creating the vision for and executing today's groundbreaking for the Grid Storage Launchpad. Many thanks to the P&L staff who've made this possible, of course to DOE and to those in Congress and the state legislature for really funding this facility that you've heard talked about. Now for a few of us, we're going to go break some ground. I'm going to lead a group here. If those in present personally would like to witness that, you'll be led around the building to the groundbreaking site. Otherwise, hang out. There's going to be a video shown here, and those online, you can watch that video. And then those here in person will have a little bit of reception afterwards inside the Energy Sciences Center here. Today, we're going to have with us a number of people on the groundbreaking, and I'd like to acknowledge Michael and Julie, who will join us, of course, the Senator, several others, and also Scott Sanders, who represents Harvey Cleary Builders, which along with Kursky Architecture serves as our partner in designing and building the GSL. So thank you again for joining us today. Enjoy the video if you like, and we'll see you around there in just a few minutes as we do the groundbreaking, and then we'll connect with you at the reception. Thank you all very much.
Tomorrow's power grid. It's no longer dependent on carbon-based fossil fuel sources. Energy storage is the bridge between clean, carbon-free, renewable energy and a reliable and resilient power grid. But actually, before stored energy can really take off as a dependable and affordable resource, we need to develop better storage technologies. A new National Research Center at Pacific Northwest National Laboratory is focused on accelerating and validating new grid-scale storage systems. Here, collaboration between top scientists from across the nation and around the world spurs development of next-generation storage materials and technologies. The Grid Storage Launchpad takes advantage of PNNL's decades of leadership and expertise in power systems and grid modernization. With a fully equipped grid control center right on PNNL's campus, our power engineers know why the grid needs storage, and they understand the size, duration, and locations required for energy storage to support a clean and resilient electrical grid. Their expertise, combined with one of the most cited battery development teams in the world, positions PNNL to help the Department of Energy launch a new era of energy storage, from the lab to the power grid. The Grid Storage Launchpad accelerates the development cycle that runs from basic materials to components to validation of complete storage systems under realistic operating conditions. As researchers from industry and universities develop new systems, the Grid Storage Launchpad will validate that these new technologies can deliver energy to the grid efficiently, reliably, and safely. With larger, more sophisticated testing chambers in the Grid Storage Launchpad, PNNL can independently test new commercial-scale systems. This gives both developers and investors confidence that new technologies will perform as expected and are ready for further development. A central feature of the new facility is a visualization center, where researchers can model and explore the dynamic energy storage requirements that occur under grid operating conditions. This is critical to advancing grid-scale batteries. Technology adoption will not move forward without being grid-proven. So researchers at the Grid Storage Launchpad develop rigorous performance specifications that will guide future technology development. These technical specifications help reduce the risk for battery developers and help inform research and development to ultimately speed new technology advancements. PNNL's advanced battery facility is central to this new facility. Research ranges from producing new button and pouch cells to designing energy-dense redox flow batteries and a variety of other energy storage systems to support decarbonization of the power sector. Our experts in chemistry, physics, and materials are making advancements in lower cost, longer duration, and safer chemistries that go beyond today's lithium-ion batteries. We're using high-throughput testing to rapidly identify new materials, harnessing machine learning to understand battery performance, and peering through high-powered microscopes to learn what's happening at the atomic level as batteries charge and discharge. Meanwhile, PNNL's computer models show how batteries can be used to provide grid services that reliably keep the power flowing. PNNL is also working with utilities that are installing grid-scale batteries. Understanding the real-world performance and benefits these storage systems provide to the grid enables the Grid Storage Launchpad to validate new technologies and foster wide-scale deployment. The Grid Storage Launchpad links academia, DOE researchers, and industry developers to solve key technical challenges and accelerate the next generation of grid-scale batteries. Together, these ideas and technologies coalesce into efficient, affordable, and safe energy storage systems that will enable more clean energy sources to power homes, factories, and vehicles, no matter when the sun shines or where the wind blows.
As the in-person guests continue making their way across campus and get ready to break ground, we have a chance to speak with one of PNNL's lead battery researchers. Materials scientist Wei Wang is here with us today, and Wei will get to work inside the GSL when it opens up in 2023. Little background, Wei served as chief scientist and technical lead on stationary energy storage R&D, and is the director of the Energy Storage Materials Initiative, a multi-million-dollar, multi-year project at PNNL to fundamentally transform the energy material R&D through physics-informed, data-driven approach. Wei is in the top 1% of the most highly cited researchers in energy storage worldwide. Design and planning has been in the works for a couple of years since the Department of Energy funded the construction of this facility. So let's welcome Wei. And Wei, tell me, how do you feel about seeing the start of this construction with the groundbreaking today?
Oh, I'm excited. I was excited when I first heard this news. Now I'm even super excited to see the groundbreaking. I truly think this facility will lead the breakthrough development of science and the technology, that will allow us to deliver the electricity when people is in need.
This is a bit of a thrill, really, isn't it? Just seeing it come to life in real time.
Absolutely.
So this structure is nestled inside the campus of the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory, but one of the main features of the Grid Storage Launchpad is that it allows for all kinds of collaboration. Wei, can you shed some light on some of the interdisciplinary aspects of the GSL?
Well, first, it's the internal collaboration part. I remember when I joined the PNL as a postdoc in 2009, I had to running around in different buildings to do my experiment and talk with my colleagues. Now they are all located in one building. This will definitely spark a lot of great ideas. And the second is, more importantly, is it will enable us to collaborate with external researchers from companies, universities, academics, and other institutes. This is very important because it takes a community effort to move the energy storage technology forward.
So not only are researchers going to be working to accelerate the development of new energy storage materials and devices, but they're also testing these materials and designs. Can you tell us a little bit about the features that will enable the testing and why it's critical to getting these technologies out there to store electricity?
Well, this is very important when we consider to moving the technology from laboratory environment to the market, because a lot of these technologies eventually will be used in realistic conditions. And for that, it requires the real great signals to test those technologies. And the PNL has the electricity infrastructure operation center, which is just across the street from the GSL. This will enable us to really test the technology in a real environment.
Excellent. So what do energy storage technologies for the grid need to be successful, Wei?
Well, there's still a lot of things. We have made great progress in the last 20, 30 years, but we still have great challenges. First, we need to make them cheaper so a lot of people can afford it, and we need to make it safe. We need to make it energy storage batteries that will not catch fire when we put them in the residential areas. And then we need to make them durable. We want those batteries in the grid to support the operation for 20, 30 years.
That's great. So, Wei, you lead the Energy Storage Materials Initiative, and that's a huge research investment by PNNL and will involve the GSL. Tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, this initiative is about to develop a new science approach to accelerate the material science energy for research for the energy storage. The lithium-ion technologies, it took 40 years for the lithium-ion technology to get to the point, the performance level as it is now, but we don't have another 40 years, so we need to accelerate. The new initiative will develop the data-driven multi-physics model and integrate the high throughput experimentations that will work 24/7 to accelerate both the material discovery and the prototype validation.
Well, it sure is exciting to have seen those shovels sort of break into the ground, and what a moment here.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't wait to see it built and move in.
It's thrilling, it really is. Thanks for taking time with us, Wei, and talking to us about some of the energy storage underway here at energy storage work underway here at PNNL, and what's going to be enhanced by this new facility. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
You bet. And if you like what you learned today and you'd like to learn some more, be sure to tune in to our episodes of Sci-Vibe, PNNL Science Podcast, where we uncover some of the latest scientific discoveries coming from PNNL and unique and compelling conversations with experts leading the charge towards innovation and discovery. You can find Sci-Vibe wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Join us this spring and summer as Pacific Northwest National Laboratory hosts a series of webinars on energy storage. We'll explore how current research is improving ways to store energy and driving increased adoption of these critical technologies. Learn more at pnnl.gov/events/energy-storage-PNNL.